Josh and Jamie's, I'll let them tell their story, but they studied graphics here, and when I was, we were in the same building. This is going back 2014, and I sort of did a little project with them, and then could never get rid of them out of the office. But subsequently they became kind of really great friends, and now are super successful designers. So you could say their story is a bit more linear. They just studied graphic design, they became designers, but I'll let them tell it because it's never as straightforward as that.
So is this working? Hey, I'm Josh.
Hello everyone. And I'm Jamie.
I will leave this on here for the minute just to show you kind of a very, very brief video on here of what we do. It's quite hard to explain. We kind of build, fabricate, design, and make anything,
all kinds of things,
and everything.
Yeah.
But as the kind of story of today has been people's journeys, I thought we'd kind of fill you in from kind of school to now. I'll do it pretty quickly because it's a long journey. I'm 29 now. You don't want to hear it all. But in my life, my parents are from a kind of very conventional background. My dad's a truck driver, mechanic, and my mum's a nurse. So not in the creative industry at all. They were always quite supportive, if you could say, about the creative industries, but kind of let me get on with what I wanted to do. Went to college, thought I knew everything, thought I wanted to be a designer, told my tutor that I didn't want to go to university because I didn't need to. Quite a young, arrogant thing to do. But she said, you do need to go to university because you don't know everything. So that was a good wake-up call. And what she actually did was we had to pay for the UCAS application at the time. I don't know if you still do. But she said, look, I'm going to pay for your UCAS application because I want you to apply. And I said, all right, then, whatever. So I just filled it in, looked at the hardest universities to get into. Bournemouth was on one of them. So I clicked all of them, so I didn't get replies. I got replies, got interviews with all of them, which to my annoyance. And then so what I did is I didn't go to any of them, but I said to my friend, I've got an interview at Bournemouth tomorrow. And he said, well, why don't we go down to Bournemouth? We're in London, everyone likes to go to Bournemouth. So he said, look, I'll drive, you go to Bournemouth. We'll go to the beach, you can go to the interview. So I quickly was like, I don't want to go. I went to my tutor who was on Art Foundation, and they were really amazing. That was one of the best years. I really learned kind of everything I needed to know, what I thought everything I needed to know. And then I said to them, look, I'm going to Bournemouth tomorrow. I need a portfolio. So we threw a portfolio together. Drove up here. My mates left me at the gate. I walked in. The second I walked in the gate was when I changed my mind. Walked onto the campus and didn't realise that there was actually a place where you could go that was exactly what you wanted to do. Couldn't believe the premises, the workshops, all these things that were here. So enrolled, got an offer, had deferred it for a year because there was a button that said deferred. I didn't know why I did that. But I was just, who knows. But luckily, I was quite against it. It was a struggle. But luckily, I did defer it, and that's where we met. So we met here at university.
I suppose my story is very similar to Josh's. My parents, my mum's a nurse, same as Josh's, and they actually knew each other before we knew each other, which is bizarre. But and my dad's a painter and decorator, and he told me never to become a painter and decorator, even though I do a lot of painting now.
Which is pretty much what we do now.
Which is bizarre, yeah. But I think, I mean, we're both dyslexic as well. So school for me wasn't the easiest or best thing really. I was always in like the bottom of every class, and I didn't other than art. So I didn't really know what I was going to do, and then went on into college and studied graphic design actually, and a foundation course, which meant that I studied all kinds of different bits of art and stuff like that. So that was really good. And then come to university, and I actually wanted to come to university though. because to be honest, I didn't know what else I wanted to do, so that's why I've done it.
Which was cool. So we met here, then we went into, like Si said, we were always kind of wanting to do something that was bigger and better than us. We were always trying to do something that we weren't qualified to do or didn't know what to do. We've carried that on and we still don't know what to do. But we met Si, I can't remember even how we met. I think it was over some graphics or something. Someone called us up to do.
We were probably trying to sell him something.
Yeah, probably from Scrapyard. Yeah. And we spoke to Si and we came up with an idea at uni that we loved bikes, we loved scrapyards. So we used to go scrapyard on a weekend, buy a load of bikes, do them up and sell them. Gave us beer money and food money, which is always great while you're at university. But we said to Si, could you give us 800 quid, which was a lot of money, still is a lot of money, to do a bike for the university? And most other people would have said, like, you need to leave my office now, you've been in here too long.
You're threatening me.
Yeah, you're threatening, you're being quite threatening. But luckily Si actually said, do you know what, that's a great idea, here's the money, go and do it. And it was the first time that anyone had really taken a kind of, a real gamble, because that's a real gamble, giving some students money from the university. It was a big gamble. Luckily we did pull it off. Yep. And it turned out great. I don't know, there may be a picture somewhere online. If you Google AUB bike, it might pop up somewhere. There's us looking way younger and way healthier. And then we got way unhealthier and then hopefully more healthy now. So we did the AUB bike, which gave us a kind of taste of what the going into a commercial world would be like, because we took someone's money, then we had to deliver something, and that's essentially what the commercial world is. Once you've got their money, you've got to do the job. Otherwise you get sued, which is never good. So we then, in our third year, had amazing tutors that kind of really, really encouraged us to do external work as well. And we managed to get a job through a technician at the university, actually, that was to fit out a bar in London. Yeah,
to design and fit out
a bar in London, which was an interesting project because, one, we'd never designed a bar in London, and two, we'd never really built anything that was more than something that we'd built in the workshop here. We managed to pull off like 17 tables, 55 chairs, folding tables, a 15-metre bar, 20 lights, countless other things.
All made out of things that we found in a scrapyard, which was kind of...
In less than about a month. And we built it in my kitchen at my student house, which was cool. Stayed up very late, like overnight sometimes. The night that we delivered it, we called all our uni friends and got them over that night to help build. We paid them all cash. We didn't know what we were doing. They paid us 17 grand at the time. It was the biggest money we'd ever earned in our lives. It was amazing. Subsequently, the job should have been probably 5 to 10 times that price. That's why they were like, yeah, do this job, do this job, do this job. It taught us about deadlines. We had to do it. We stayed up 24 hours, didn't we? Yeah. You slept for half an hour in the garden. We drove to London. We didn't drive. Someone else drove to London. They had some sleep.
I don't know why I slept in the garden.
Yeah, it was a nice day of summer. We then installed that job, and that was a big learning curve. And we kind of realised that actually this is a super fun job. Like, this is cool. We had studied graphic design. We wanted to kind of go and make it in the world with commercial clients and build events and kind of fabrication and just be at the forefront of kind of interior but interactive design interior and stuff like that. So I don't know how we... Go on, sorry, Jay.
And then we kind of took 5 years to figure out how to build that.
Yeah, and between then and now we've been homeless. We lived in a car. We painted places for accommodation. Yeah, we hustled hard every day and still do sometimes have to hustle very hard. Yeah. But I don't know how we go on. Have we got a mouse or anything that we can scroll down and show you some of?
I mean, I can point at it, but
is there a mouse here? On here? Okay, oh, perfect, yeah. So let's go on here. So these are some of our projects that we've done recently. This is actually a really cool one that we've done in Bournemouth, so you guys can actually go and visit it. Yep. We were given a disused area that was actually painted really nice and white, and we subsequently ruined it for the developer. And basically this was done for a kind of PR art install to get kind of recognition of the Avenue Shopping Centre, which is a very bland shopping centre, which is hopefully going to come really nice. And they wanted to make it look like it had been derelict for about 25 years. So we built an old Blockbuster in there and stuff. So that was kind of a big project. And that recently just got featured on Design Boom, which is a huge design website that we've always looked at, which was amazing. amazing for us, and it got us a lot of recognition. And I think they got 2.4 million followers on Instagram, which we got thousands and thousands of likes, and spread that kind of through the Instagram world, which is where we kind of got most of our work. We initially thought we didn't ever need a website. Turns out we did, because the people that have got the budgets are the people that look at websites, not that look at Instagram. So we were like, oh, we don't need a website. Turns out we do, which is good to know.
Yeah, I only took 4 years to learn
4 years to learn that one. That was good. So we get, it's an absolutely incredible job, and it is, like we say every day, it is probably the best job in the world. It's been tough. There's been a lot of encouraging people throughout our kind of journey. We often get a text from Si saying, what are you boys up to? Do you want to go for lunch? And we all talk about what we've been doing and having fun. And kind of, we just feel in between living here and London with kind of building big art installations, art fabrication, neon, interactive signs and stuff for big clients to basically boost their kind of thing. There's a nice piece that you guys have probably seen tonight in the reception. That was cool to come back and work with the university to build something that would be Instagrammed and on Instagram a lot, and kind of spread awareness of the university working with alumni, which they do very well, which is great. We get to travel the world. This is went to America. We're supposed to be in Hong Kong next week, but that just got cancelled. We were there last month. So we do art installations for famous artists as well. So we build famous artists sometimes don't make their actual art, so they put their name to it, they come up with the concept, and then we fabricate the in-between of that. So kind of, if an artist wants something made out of metal, not every artist is a metal worker, so we then organise that, orchestrate that.
Sort of design how it's going to be made and everything, and then actually either have it made by specialists or with special machines and things like that, or we'll make it ourselves. So a very mixed amount of different things that we do.
But I can, and back to kind of the initial kind of idea of this about the careers and moving forward with what you do in your next steps from going to kind of art foundation and university and going into the creative industry. We've been amazingly lucky in the industry that we've taken the right opportunities, the right risks. Sometimes there's risks, you do have to take them. High risk, high reward, and we kind of have looked at what we wanted to do and always told ourselves that we're gonna get there and worked out a path to get there. We're still on that path. We've hit all our targets of what we wanted to do, and now we're kind of just aiming higher and trying to get bigger and evolving and moving premises, because we're getting larger and larger every day, taking on staff, which is amazing. All stuff that we have no idea how to do. But Google is an amazing way to learn things very quick. Tax is an interesting one. You'll probably learn about that. You have to pay that, otherwise you go to prison. That's pretty easy.
Yeah, that 800 quid you paid us originally, mate.
Tax on that, only bit of tax-free money we've ever earned. I think Simon paid us in cash on that one. No, joking. But it's kind of. The one thing, I mean, I think there's an about here that this kind of, I should have just read this out. It would have saved us talking. We're a CRM specialist in start to finish design-based project, from art fabrication, installation to marketing pieces, full branding projects, and our knowledge of unique process, cutting-edge materials allows us to produce work that keeps our clients current. Tap to close, so we've got that in there. So it's a great job, and it's only been made, viable by leaving this university with the kind of enthusiasm that you can do whatever. It's encouragement. In real life, and the university isn't real life, it's 3 or 4 years when you can not be in real life, because you can actually spend that time developing your skills. I mean, like the bubbles, like the music and like the acting, they're your skills. In the real world, you don't get to do that until you've got them skills, and no one will give you 4 years to advance those skills. So coming out of somewhere where your tutors will say, you do what you want to do and nothing's wrong, just show me how you can justify it. And if there's a means to justifying it, you can always you learn them skills to then do that with clients in the future and kind of be able to sell what you do, and what you do will be individual. And the encouragement from the university is just amazing. We never went and got real jobs, which helped us, because then we just never had a wage, so we couldn't rely on anything. And we just went from there, yeah. So it's been a fun journey. Sometimes never stressful, just pressure. Yeah. Pressure makes diamonds, that's what I say to myself every day. I whisper that to myself like every day. But other than that, yeah, just kind of really, it's just like looking, a lot of people say to us, if we have an idea, we just do it. Yeah. Google's wonderful, YouTube, you can learn anything. So we sit in meetings, come out saying that we can do it, and just Google it. And you need to learn a lot of skills before that. But but also having the facilities here, which was also amazing, because you would never have the facilities. That workshop's 10 times better than our workshop. I wish we had that workshop now, because we'd be able to make even better stuff. But just having that around and realizing and proving, my mum still asks me when I'm going to get a job. So that doesn't actually change. So like even though like we bought a pizza oven recently, and I bought a new electric car, and I called my mum up. I was so excited. I've never bought a new car in my life. And I said, Mum, I bought this car. Come down. She went, awesome. Are you bringing that pizza oven with you? So she doesn't respond to anything other than like kind of the old school mentality. But she's great. She's supportive, but she still doesn't quite get it. So it takes a while. It takes a while, and just keep telling your parents that it does work and it can work. And if it doesn't,
and then you got to make it work. Yeah,
you got to make it work. Yeah, because then you got egg on your face. So yeah, that's kind of our story. And yeah, I mean, if you've got any questions after, we're happy to fill in the blanks. There's a lot of blanks, so there we go. But thanks for your time, guys.